So, hello, salam, namaste, and sat sri akal. Welcome to my new episode of What's Your Story by Madhavi. So, today we have a very renowned personality with us. So, उनके लिए कुछ मैं कहना चाहूंगी. गुरु गोविंद दो खड़े, काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु अपने गोविंद दियो बताया. So, this is a very famous Kabir Das ji ने लिखा है. So it means if you have one side of a god standing next to you or a one side guru standing next to you, whom would you first touch the feet? So God says if you touch the feet of the guru, it means you're touching my feet. So with that note, if we think of our teachers today, they play a very vital and important role. So with that note, they play a very vital and important role. All our teachers, whether it is me, whether it is anybody, because we all treat them as guru. And so today, I'm very proud to have this renowned personality onto my show, who is none other than the very famous Dr.SkandBali ji, the principal of the Hyderabad Public School, Begumpet. So, welcome, sir. How are you feeling today? Welcome to my show.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'm really honored and excited as well, and nervous a bit as well, because you did not share what you're going to ask me. So I hope it doesn't turn out to be Arnab Goswami show where I don't know what to say. But nonetheless, you have spoken very kindly of me. So I'm just, I love my work, and I'm a very simple man. So thank you for those kind words. So I'm happy to be here. Let's see how it goes. Thank you.
So, जहाँ तक अर्नब गोस्वामी का सवाल है, it can be there because I'm really inspired by him sometimes.
All right, ma'am. I have.
Yeah, continue, please. You are? You're
No,
ready for
please
all
go
the
ahead,
questions. You're ready for all the questions, right?
I'm ready. I'm ready, ma'am. I'm ready.
तो पहले ये पूछते
I'll
हैं.
answer from my heart whatever you'll ask me.
Yeah, because the show says दिल से. So you have to.
जी
So
मैम.
चलिए पहले एक सवाल आपसे पूछते हैं कि आपकी इन दमदार मुस्टैशेस या मूंछों का राज क्या है?
Well,
Yeah.
कुछ राज नहीं है. I mean, I like keeping mustache. I think it's in our family history. I think my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather, and the people before them, they all kept mustaches, and all my friends and family have told me that it does suit me. So yeah, so there's nothing, no hidden thing about it. It's just that I like keeping mustache because I've seen it in my family. So that's how it is.
ओके सो कभी आपने पूछा नहीं कि जनरली ऐसे आपने कहीं बच्चों को डराने के लिए तो नहीं रखी है मुस्टैशेस की एक दबाव बना रहना चाहिए कि यू नो आई शुड लुक लाइक अ प्रिंसिपल सिंस इट्स अ फैमिली आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड अ ट्रेडिशन व्हिच इज बीइंग यू आर कंटिन्यूइंग इट बट ऑन द अदर साइड आई फील मुस्टैशेस रखना एक यू नो इट्स अ मैनली लुक सो डराने के लिए भी हो सकता है और यू नो इसके बारे में क्या
I
कहेंगे
don't.
आप
नहीं
बच्चे
नहीं
डरते हैं
I
आपसे
don't think.
टीचर्स डरते हैं स्टाफ डरता है इज इट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट
I hope they don't. I really hope they don't. But इसका आंसर तो वही दे पाएंगे कि मुझसे टीचर्स डरते हैं कि नहीं और बच्चे डरते हैं कि नहीं. I don't want them to be scared of me. That's a fact. And I don't think mustache reflects the manhood kind of thing or something. It's just that if something suits you, you keep it. Just like Anil Kapoor,
ओके
you know, I don't think people liked Anil Kapoor without a mustache when he came in movie Lamhe. So
राइट
I fear how will I look without a mustache. Though some of the
ओके
people who are very close to me at times do say that, you know, you must shave your mustache and try it once and it will suit you. But I don't have the courage to do that. So that's how it is.
ओके
Yeah.
सो यू मीन टू से जस्ट अ पार्ट ऑफ योर पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम राइट
No, there's no program. There's no hidden agenda. It's just that I like
Okay,
keeping mustache, and as I told earlier, this is what in my family. So yeah.
right. So, chaliye, sir, let's go back to your childhood memories, जब आप छोटे होंगे, and just refresh them quickly. And let's see what you have to say about your education background. And कुछ ऐसी memory हमारे साथ share करिए जहाँ पे you really, really remember up till date, you know, those nutcut lamhe, those, pranks or something. Share it with us.
Um, Ma'am, who doesn't? Unfortunately, I'm in a position where I don't think I'll be able to share all the pranks which I would have done as a student. But yes,
You
I
have
was a
to
very
because
naughty.
you
I wa-
have to because this is a candid conversation. See, this is not a show
yeah,
where I'm going to be very formal with
I
you.
know, I know. No, no, ma'am. I know it's a candid conversation, but unfortunately, this candid conversation is getting broadcasted as well. So it's not in a closed door candid conversation. But
Yeah, that's true.
I was a very naughty student.
Uh-huh.
But I was always respectful towards my teachers and my elders because that's what we learned in our family. I
Mm-hmm.
have seen my father,
Mm-hmm.
though when he was in his profession, I've seen my
Mm-hmm.
father touching the feet of his teachers when he met them, even in the market with me. So that
Wow,
has
that is
stayed with
nice.
me for a long, long time. So one thing which I learned from him and everybody in the family is that you have to respect your teachers no matter what,
Hmm.
and your teachers don't mean bad to you, they don't mean harm to you. So I was mischievous, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely naughty, but I was not disrespectful to them. Once I did get into a trouble. I remember it was my primary school. I was in, I think, grade 3 or grade 4,
Mm-hmm.
and my friends and I, we were just getting bored in the class. So we used to have a bell in the school, so everything would decide according to the bell, you know. So the
Yes,
moment
that
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 bell
used to
is
that
rung
used to
for a long,
yeah, tell about the
precisely,
period is
precisely,
ended. Yeah, yeah.
precisely. So the
Hmm.
moment that, and it used to be a long iron thing hanging from a
Yes, yes,
tree,
yes. Even I had
and
experienced that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and the peon would ring it or
Go
hit it with that
there.
iron rod,
Yes.
you know.
That means
So
the
it would make a lot of
end of the period or the starting of the period or the
exact.
chutti ho gayi, so there
And
used to be five times. Yeah,
yes, it used to be a longer duration.
longer
So
duration.
there
Right.
was still, I think, 45 minutes left for the chutti. And
And which period
मेरे
was that
दोस्तों
for
ने,
you?
ma'am, I was in grade 3 or grade 4, I think. So
Yeah, but क्या पढ़ रहे थे
we
उस
all,
वक्त आप कौन से सब्जेक्ट को स्टडी कर रहे थे उस
ma'am,
पीरियड में
it's very
पर्टिकुलर?
difficult for me to say. We were in the primary that time, and it's long, long
Okay,
back.
okay,
I
okay,
think
okay.
so my friends and I, we decided कि अब school से छुट्टी हो जानी चाहिए and all that.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
they all said that छुट्टी होगी जब bell बजेगी.
Uh-huh.
So I somehow, I don't know from where I got that naughtiness. I sneaked near the bell without anybody noticing me, and I rang the bell for a chutti. And it was still 40 minutes left for the school to get over. And in
Seriously?
the primary schools, what happens is the moment the chutti is declared, students don't wait for the teachers to say go. They just run out of
They
the
just run.
classes.
They just run. When the
So
bell is there, it's
yeah,
yeah,
so
it's declared.
exactly. So the whole school, entire school ran out of the classes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that peon
Yeah.
caught hold of me. So
Oh.
and he took me to our headmistress, and she told me, she said, you, and my family had a great name in my hometown. You know, they were all
Mhm.
regarded and well known people. So the headmistress told me that I'm going to complain to you, I mean, about you to your family. And I said, ma'am, please don't. And I was just literally crying. So she said, okay, on one condition, you'll give an assembly talk. So I still remember, I mean, this is a very funny incident. I still remember. She
Uh-huh.
said, you will give a talk in assembly about hygiene and well, good behavior. So I said, okay. So we used to have a water tank where all the students used to drink water. So a lot many times we used to play there. We used to throw water inside the tank, or we would spoil something, or we would litter around the school. It's a common thing which used to happen, you know. So I
Hmm.
got onto the stage next day in assembly, and I said, and it was in Hindi. So I said, हम लोग बहुत स्कूल में गंदगी करते हैं, पेपर्स फेंकते हैं, बहुत बार हम लोग टीचर्स की बात नहीं सुनते हैं,
हाँ,
और बहुत बार हम पानी से खेलते हैं, और in the end, because of my mischievous nature, I didn't realize the
yeah.
consequences. uh, in a hurry I said, लेकिन हम बच्चे हैं, ये सब हमको करना चाहिए.
अच्छा,
so
असेंबली में.
so
Oh my
so
God.
then I was assembly mein. Then my headmistress caught hold of my ear,
Hmm.
and she said, nahi, you will have to change your sentence and say it. So that is one memory which I still remember.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those were really, really amazing days. I wish we could never grow up and we remain in the school life, especially the younger years. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
nice. So one question I have in my mind is, was it a co-education or was it just like boys?
No, I studied in a co-ed
Co-ed.
initially. Till grade 10, I was in co-ed.
Hmm.
Then 11th, 12th, I did in an all-boys school.
So any
Then
kind of
I was in college and university again co-ed. Yes.
crush in the
No, ma'am.
school?
I was in my entire life, I was too
Don't
much
say
into
a
my
lie.
friends and
No, no,
sports.
no. No,
And
no, 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 no,
no, no,
no,
no.
no, 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 no,
I
no. I can't
no,
believe
no.
a,
Honestly,
I know, you're a, chali, theek hai.
no, no. I
I
don't
skipped this
lie.
question.
Honestly, I don't lie. No, no. Honestly, I don't lie. And
You are
moreover,
lying right now.
I had a lot of like my sister, who's younger to me, is just 1 year younger to me, and there were a lot of my cousins, my bua's daughters, my uncle's daughters, who were of our age group. So most
Right.
of the girls in our schools or colleges were either my sister's friends or my
Mm-hmm.
cousins' friends. So
So let
in the
me tell
school
you, it
life, they used
doesn't
to they used
matter.
to treat
So
me
it
like their
doesn't
brother. Yeah.
matter. So it doesn't matter. Did you had any crush on any teacher at that
Oh
moment of
yes,
time
ma'am.
when you were?
Yes, ma'am. I did. I
See,
did.
now Arnab Goswami has come in here into the situation now, and I had to get the answer.
No, no, no. I was very fond of my English teacher in school, and
Okay. Okay.
so I think those are
So it
childhood
was
days
not,
which you
no,
remember.
oh yeah, everybody does have
Yeah,
a crush, firstly on the
yeah,
teachers. That's how.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So my next question is like, tell us about your education background and why did you choose this profession?
Ma'am, my father was in intelligence bureau, so he was
Mm-hmm.
getting transferred from places, different places and all that. So my schooling happened in different parts of the country. Then I did my
Right.
college from my hometown, Solon, in geography and political science. Then
Right.
after that, I went to Punjab University, Chandigarh, and I did my postgrad in geography.
Wow.
Um, so I wanted to be a civil servant, though my father wanted me to be a lawyer. But
Oh, why?
I wanted to be
Why
a
so
civil.
different?
My great grandfather wanted my grandfather to be a lawyer, but my grandfather became
Oh, that's why.
a DIG CID. I mean, he was in the police services.
Yes, yes, yes,
My
I know.
grandfather wanted my father to be a lawyer, and he became
But
intelligence bureau officer.
I,
And
yes,
my
yes.
father wanted me to be a lawyer, and I wanted to be a civil servant. So,
Mhm.
so there was a vacancy, and as I finished my masters, there was a vacancy of a geography teacher in a boarding school called Army Public School, Dakshai, near my hometown. So I went to my dad and I told him, I said, Papa, there is this vacancy. Do you think I should apply? And if I apply, I'll be in touch with my subject, and at the same time, I'll start preparing for my civils as well.
Mhm.
So my dad said, yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to get into job, please go ahead by all means. And those days, the parents were very happy that, okay, you are going to a boarding school, so the mess is there. So parents were not worried about my food and all
Khana
that.
pina, yeah, 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 yeah.
So, so then I joined that school. After that, I got so much involved in this profession, and I started loving being children
Mhm.
that I did not pursue my other desire of civil services, and I continued, and I'm happy I did not. And I'm happy in this profession. Yes.
Mhm. कभी आपने अपने किसी भी when you were a teacher or when you used to teach children, did you find your personality kind of traits in any of the child while during your teaching career?
It's very natural. I mean, when you look at the children, You do remember your school days and your college days, and your fun days with friends. So I wouldn't say that I found my personality in them, but I could relive a lot of my memories from school life looking at them,
Right,
and that
right.
happened quite a lot many times. Yeah.
Okay. So, let me ask you another question. When Dr. SkandBali is at home, right? At home. Uh, of course, what is he? Is he a strict principal or is he a chilling out person at home?
Um, I again, this is something which I can't answer. I think it's the people in my family who have to answer that question.
Of course, you
But
know.
yeah, I'm one thing which irritates everybody around me when I'm home is I love watching TV. TV.
Hmm.
I anything in the television, whether it is news, whether it is National Geographic or Discovery, whether it is a good movie. A TV is a stress buster for me. Many people say that when you watch TV, you get a little stress. You get the pressure on the head. But for me, it's my stress buster. So that is
Hmm.
one thing everybody like. But whether I'm a strict or fun-loving, I leave it to the people in my family to decide that.
Okay. So with this note, let me share
I'm
something
hoping
with
that
you.
I'm
Your voice is breaking. I mean, the video is breaking.
I hope that I'm not
Uh,
bad at
uh,
home.
could you just please repeat the last sentence because it
Ma'am,
was
are you
the
able to
net
hear me
was
now?
yeah, your video is still, but due to net issues, I know. But can you repeat what you said last? Yeah.
No, I said, I hope I'm not strict and bad at home with people.
Okay.
I hope
Okay.
so.
Okay. So, uh, let me share this with you. Not this one.
Mm,
Are you
I
able to
can't see
hear?
anything, ma'am. I don't know what. Yeah, I can hear you, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to share it again. Okay. Can you see now something?
No, ma'am. It just says you are sharing something, but it's not reflecting anything.
It's not reflecting a green screen.
No, I can't see anything, ma'am.
Okay, then we'll have to do this way then. Right. Can you see now? Is it
No, ma'am.
showing up now? Okay. So this is what
No,
is going
nothing.
on.
I can't see. The screen is not being shared right now. That's.
Okay. 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 I'll share it now.
Oh, yeah, yes.
It
Yes.
is okay. So
I
now,
can see it, ma'am. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So it says, ये बचपन, ये किसका बचपन है सर?
Ma'am, those are my photographs
Oh, who is this? Who is this
from.
Gappu kind of a boy? Gappu and Modu kind of a boy. Guli guli. Who is this?
Well, that's me. Both are my photographs when I was young.
You're shy to
Yeah.
say that's you? Oh my God! Look at this picture. I mean, I can't believe that it's seriously you. But you were so cute. So
I think, ma'am,
I'll share.
everybody is like that when they are young.
Um. Okay, if you say so, I agree to it. Okay. So I'll share something else with you. Why is it not sharing? I mean, this is again a problem. Uh, okay. I think I'll take a break again and then I'm trying my best. Uh, it's the same screen which is being shared, right? I don't know what's happening. Just a minute. I'm just correcting it. Okay, till that time, can you please answer me a simple question, which I'm going to ask you now? What happens if, suppose, I know that you have a very, very cute kid, Prem, whose name is Prem. He's studying in the same campus. So what happens when, a principal's son is studying in a school, same school, and sometimes, he tries to, fight around or kabhi kuch ladai ho jati hai bachchon ke saath, and he's trying to, say ki, oh, it's a dadagiri kind of a stuff. Does this happen, and how do you handle such issues when it comes to your son and other people around?
Well, so far, nothing of that sort has happened, touch wood.
Okay.
My son has been accepted by HPS with open arms. That is one beautiful thing about HPS, which I have seen, is that children, no matter where they come from, whether they are teachers' children or principal's child or any kind of economic or
Yeah.
social background, they
Yeah.
are all treated beautifully and they are taken in very well. That is one thing I have seen. There is a lot of love and affection amongst children in HPS, and my
Mm-hmm.
son felt the same as well. However, as and when, if there is any kind of discipline issue which comes, so I have requested my colleagues in the school, the teachers, his class teachers, vice principal, and everybody, that please treat him like any other child.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that he's principal's son, and he also doesn't think the same as well. So
Mm-hmm.
when I have to call him in my office for some work as a principal, then he calls me sir in my office,
Mm-hmm.
and I address him like a principal. So it's pretty normal. It's not, neither he takes it otherwise, nor I take it otherwise.
Okay. So which school you have been associated before coming to HPS?
Um, Ma'am, as I told you, I started my career from Army Public School, Daksha. I was there for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I moved to Doon School in Dehradun for 12 years. I was there for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then before coming to HPS, I was heading a school called GD Goenka World School in Gurgaon in Sona.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I moved to Hyderabad.
Okay, that's nice. So, uh, do you think that there are so many kind of syllabus that we have today, like ICSE, ISA, and IB is another one? Why can't there be only one kind of syllabus or curriculum to be followed? Why do we need so many different kind of curriculums? Why can't we have only one kind of a syllabus that kids are able to focus on?
Ma'am, the beauty of this lies within our own country. You see India, you look at India, it's such a diverse country. The beauty of our country is diversity.
Right.
You are taking names of CBSE, ICSE, IB. You forgot IGCSE, you forgot American curriculum. You forgot the state boards. There are 28 states and each state has their own curriculum. I think that's the beauty of it. It's
Mm-hmm.
the curriculum, whether it is one, whether it is 10, whether it is 100, is not as important as the delivery of the curriculum. The delivery of the curriculum has to be up to the mark, and teachers have to reach to the students' level. I think that is very, very
Uh,
important.
yes, that is
If you
important.
don't
But
handle the
I
curriculum well,
feel
then it's
no, but I feel what is the new policy which has education policy which has come out, which you would like to
the new,
comment on?
ma'am, the new education policy, national education policy has been there earlier as well. The only
Mm-hmm.
difference is that earlier people did not talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
People did not know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And many educators did not bother to even read about that. Now, what
Right.
has happened is the media is very proactive, print media
Right.
or electronic media. So
Right.
there is
Right.
more
Right.
noise about this national education policy, which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain very good steps which this education policy has taken. One is that for the first time in our national education policy, the early years has been given a recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier, it was a very informal sector of education. There was no mention of nursery, pre-primary children. Now that has been included. They have beautifully structured it into 5, 3, 3, and 4. So that is something which is very good, which has happened in
Mm-hmm.
this education policy. Another important thing which I feel is good with this education policy, and many people may differ with me, is that it says that you may choose to teach a student in his or her local or the mother tongue. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Now, the research proves that a child learns best in the language he is born with. Um, I don't see a reason why a concept of chemistry has to be taught only in English, or why geography has to be taught only in English. Yes, the English
Mm-hmm.
language per se is very, very important. And this is not something which I am saying, this is what the research is saying. Japan,
Mm-hmm.
maximum Nobel laureates come from that country. They learn in Japanese. They are born with the language Japanese. Look at
Right.
Russia, look at France,
Mm-hmm.
look at China, look at America, look at England. Uh, Children study in the language they are born with. We were doing it till British came into our country, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when the English became extremely dominating. Many people in
Okay.
our country have been doing well if they study in regional language. So that's another good thing which the national education policy has done. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy about it. I'm extremely happy that it is talked about. There is a discussion about national education policy in today's time and age. What is
Right.
going to be critical is the implementation of that education policy on the ground.
That's important.
That is going to be the change maker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, well said. I want to ask one thing, like there are certain schools, or I would not like to name them, but who does not believe in the philosophy of having, exams or, weekly tests or something like that. What do you have to say about such kind of schools, when their kids come into this competitive world? Are they very competitive really to face the challenges? Do you think it's the correct
Ma'am,
way? There is no need of
ma'am,
evaluation is something different from an examination, right? Do you agree or not? Because I
correct.
feel that every board, whether it is ICSE or IG or IB or ISE or CBSE, whatever, they all have different degrees of difficulty levels in their own way, right? In their own standards. So would you have to comment on that?
Ma'am, I don't think examinations or not conducting examinations or conducting examinations is good or bad. I don't look at that as well. I'm going to say something different here. Uh, every
Please do.
school, irrespective whether they conduct examinations or whether they don't conduct examinations, they need to
Mhm.
focus on making a difference in the ability or the thinking ability of the child. So a
Right.
child has to be critically advanced. They should think critically.
Mhm.
They have to be creative. They have to have good communication skill, whether it is written or spoken. They have to have compassion. They have to teach them character. And I think if any child has those kind of qualities, they will never fail in life, whether it is with exam or without exam. If any school is not doing these kind of qualities and not inculcating these kind of qualities, then definitely
Mhm.
they are doing a lot of disservice to the society. That's what I feel. On the other side, the reality of today's world is,
Mhm.
whether
Mhm.
it is IB, whether it is IGCSE, whether it is ISC, CBSE, or state boards,
Mhm.
there is formal examination after certain grade in all these curriculums. They have to write exams, be it 10th, be it 12th. You
Mhm.
go after your 12th grade. If you take admission in some of the colleges in India, you start writing exam immediately after 12th as well. If you take
Right.
admission abroad or in any other course, you still have to write exams after a year, after 2 years, or so and so forth. So it's
Mhm.
very, very important that they develop that habit of writing examinations as well. It's not easy to ask somebody to sit for 3 hours and write an exam if they are not equipped, if they are not groomed for something like that.
Right.
So if that answers your question, I'm not against the no examination schools, but I feel that somehow if they don't want to take that as a formal promotional exam, but they need to give them a practice of examinations so that students are ready. But all the schools, irrespective whether they take exam or they don't take exam, they have to prepare their students for life, which is more important than anything else.
Hmm. Okay. So, coming back to my earlier question, like as you said that people are being taught, different, a person is born with a language, right? A nationality language, what you call it as.
Yes, ma'am.
So, suppose why Sanskrit is ignored today so much? Why people are, emphasizing on uh, an option between only Hindi or Telugu, or let's say maybe a French or, another kind of languages. Why Sanskrit is not a part of the curriculum?
This is extremely unfortunate. Sanskrit is a beautiful language. In
Yes,
fact,
yes.
it has contributed a lot in the
It
formation of
has
other
a, it has
languages.
it has very it makes a person very divine, and it has a beautiful pronunciation of all those kind of shlokas that we have. it
Well,
gives it gives child a very ठहराव, जिसे बोलते हैं ना, ठहराव देता है.
I won't go into the divinity of it, but I think every language is divine in its own self, and every language
Agreed,
is sweet in
agreed,
its own
agreed.
self as well.
Agreed, agreed.
However, you will be very happy to know that at HPS we do teach Sanskrit, and we have Sanskrit as a language as well. So it is done in different parts of the country in different schools. In my school,
Mhm.
Sanskrit was an option where it was taught as well. But yes,
Yeah,
in
me too, me too.
majority in major parts of the country and major education institution, it is not taught.
Yeah.
Apart from one village in Karnataka where their communication is completely in Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not even spoken, used. So
Yeah.
the usage of language decides its life, right? If people stop
Hmm.
using a particular language, if in India, let's say all Indians stop using English, English won't survive in the country. Uh,
Hmm.
so I think we when I say we as the society and maybe the governments have to create the some kind of importance of Sanskrit by saying that it is an
What
important
can you
language.
do? What can you do? What can you put
Ma'am,
forward in front of the government as as see, uh, ऐसे बोलते हैं ना, बूंद बूंद से बनता है सागर. So if you one person, if another one person can contribute together, what is it that we can put forward for the people who really is losing the identity of Sanskrit as a language?
I see, to be honest, I would only say that Sanskrit should be taught as an option in different parts of the country.
It should
As
be
an educator, I
included.
can
It should
feel
it should be
it should be
included into
included.
the
Yes,
syllabus, right?
Sanskrit is one language where you can find connection between Tamil,
Right.
Telugu,
Hindi.
Hindi, or any other language as well.
I say
There are
Telugu
some
is
words of
yes, yeah.
Sanskrit or something you will still find.
Absolutely.
But I'm not in favor of uh, imposing any language in India because I
Uh-huh.
think every language and every region has its own beauty. But yes,
Hmm.
like in my school, we do teach Sanskrit. So I hope majority of the people in the country start teaching Sanskrit. I think the government should maybe one thing which government can do is the signboards across the country can be in Sanskrit as well, just like they are in English. Unfortunately, they don't have signboards in Sanskrit as well. So Sanskrit is not visible anywhere, except that
Yes.
sometimes in some old literature or somewhere you come across Sanskrit, but it's not there. So that's one
Mhm.
of the way by which they can do it. But I think they are more um, knowledgeable than what I am to decide how Sanskrit can be used. But I think Sanskrit needs to be given its due respect. It should not die down in our country. That's what I feel. It's already
Okay.
become endangered.
Yes. So I would like to show you something. I would like to share something with you. Just a minute.
Don't tell me that this time you are sharing a video where I'm talking in Sanskrit.
No, 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 no. Um, can you see a green screen now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I can see a green
Okay.
screen.
So that was just a small presentation about you. Can you hear me? Did you see, sir? Are you there?
That was that. Thank you. Yes, I did. Thank
Your voice is breaking and your video is becoming still. I think you should
you.
please
Ma'am,
do something about
can you
that.
hear me now? Can
Yes,
you hear
I
me
can hear
now?
you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can very well hear you.
And you can see me as well now.
Yes, 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 yes. So did you
Yeah.
see what
So
I
thank you so
shared
much,
just
ma'am. That
now?
was
No, no, no. You don't
yes,
have to
ma'am. That was
like.
very sweet of you. Thank
No,
you.
no. Actually, I want to also share another video where, you know, uh, talks about something about. Can you see? Are you able to see, sir?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There's nothing on the screen.
Oh, really? I don't know. It has to be there. It has to be there. Okay. Okay. I'll try once again, please. Give me a moment. This is the wonderful, technology. No, 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 no. Sure.
Technology is unfortunately. I mean, you can't run away.
Sorry, can you see something now in the pink?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now I'm going to share it, please. So this was something about the Board of Governors, which you have in your panel. I hope I shared them correctly.
Yes, ma'am. They are our members of the board who are
Yes,
responsible in terms of overlooking the functioning of the school.
correct, correct. Okay, so one another thing I wanted to share. Can you see something now? No,
No, ma'am. It's nothing is shared
just
right
a
now.
minute. Okay. Oh, these are issues. Okay. Okay. Can you see this now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good. Great. At least you can see this. So what do you have to talk about joining the e-learning hub? Like today, there is a situation that we are facing, all of us, a COVID situation where kids are being given. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am. I
okay.
can.
So, what do you have to say that when we were all thinking that kids should not be given, laptops and, more usage of phone, now suddenly COVID has brought all of us to a level where we have to join the e-learning hub, whether it is Zoom, whether it is, Google Hangout. What do you have to say on that? Does how it's impacting the kids?
Ma'am, number one, this is unavoidable situation.
Mhm.
The damage which a gadget will do to a child is less than the damage which will happen to them if they are away from learning for a year. Unfortunately, this COVID
Okay.
situation was such wherein uh, we practically have no physical school since March, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
can't expect children to be without learning. So this was introduced. I think most of the organizations are doing it in the country. Even the government sector is doing it. What we did at HPS was that we created it in such a way that there is less pressure on the child. There is a gap between two classes. We have reduced the timing of the classes to bare minimum possible.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing which we don't realize here is that, yes, the research shows that the gadgets should not be given to the children till the age of 12 at least. They should be exposed to that later. I did not understand the hue and cry from around the country in terms of online classes and saying that these gadgets will harm children and so on and so forth. Most of the time, they are not looking
So
at the
video,
screen.
sorry,
At
I'm just
least, no, let me
interrupting you.
just let me complete. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
So most of the time, they're not looking at the screen, the younger children I'm talking about. So pre-primary
Mhm.
children are activity-based learning, which is going on. So there is their parents sitting with them as well. What we
Right.
don't realize is that before this e-learning started in India, they were the same parents who were playing a video on the mobile and feeding their 6 months old child. These are the
Mhm.
same parents who were feeding or providing lunch or dinner to their children in front of the television, right? These are the same parents who would talk to their friends but hand over the phone to their son or the daughter who is a 6-year-old child to say, okay, you go and play. These are the same
Right.
parents who have given access to playstations to the children. So what we need to do is, what I requested to the parents is that you balance it out. If a child is spending 3 hours in online learning, please reduce that much screen time in terms of television or mobile, because that is also screen time. Here, there is something productive screen time. That may not necessarily be productive screen time. So sorry for interrupting you in between, but I just wanted to finish this
No,
particular
your
part.
video was not proper, so I just wanted to let you know. It's just hanging in between, so that's it. Yeah. Anyways, continue,
All right,
sir.
ma'am. No, I'm done, ma'am. I've
So
spoken what I
you
had to
you were
say.
saying that you can't blame it everything to the parents, sir. That's a part of it. I agree to it that these were the parents who have been giving. Then yes, definitely there are parents who just don't care and they just give it. कि हाँ बच्चे जाओ खाना खा लो टीवी देख लो. So but since a child from so many months is being locked up at home, and suppose the games, are every child's closer heart, kind of thing. So, child says, "Mama or Papa, I have done my studies. Give me some time for my playtime." What will you do? And if suppose you are sitting at home, you're watching a movie, you says it's a stress buster for you, and suppose the child comes and say, I don't have anything to do, I finished my homework, I've done with anything, and I want to see television. He's just sitting next to you. What do? He can't go
No,
out.
fair
He
enough.
cannot play.
I'm not blaming the parents. You have got my answer completely wrong. I'm saying the
No, no.
parents who are making noise of screen time are also the same people who
Yes,
provide
yes,
gadgets
I
to their
agree to it.
children as
I
well.
agree to it. I agree
So,
completely to it.
and when it comes on the physical fitness of the children, uh,
Mhm.
I don't think any school is running online classes from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening. We
No.
are running it maximum for 3.5 hours in a day.
Yes, yes,
There can
yes.
be parents can play carom with their children. Parents can play some kind of other games with their children. I'm
Right.
sure you can do a little bit of skipping in your own home for any kind of physical activity. You don't
Right.
necessarily need to play only playstations or games like that as well. I'm not
Right.
against children watching television and so on and so forth. All I'm
Mhm.
saying is, please do not blame the schools that they have done something wrong by getting into the e-learning mode. This is exceptionally and extremely critical and important. A child's
Mhm.
6 to 8 month learning gap, the younger the child is, the more difficult to cope up, because the
Mhm.
brain growth maximum happens till the age of 8 or 9. Now, if
Yes.
that is the period, which is PP1, PP2, class 1, 2, 3, if that is the period you give a no learning gap for 8 months, it is going to be disastrous for children. So what I'm saying is something which is backed by research, not not
Mhm.
not saying something which suits me, but I think it is very, very critical for us to have learning, and that learning under the circumstances could happen only through e-learning. So
Okay.
there's nothing we can do about it. It's for the safety of everybody that they are locked in their homes. I think
Right.
that's the best which can happen right now. It's just like I allowed doctors to give injections to my son when he was 6 months, 2 months, or 3 months old, because of for his betterment. I could not say that don't give injection to my son; it's criminal. So take this as an injection as well. I think that's what I feel.
Okay. So
But I'm not blaming parents here. I'm just trying to highlight the systematic or systemic error which you can
Rectify.
observe.
Yeah. So, but do you think that today, whatever teachers are putting efforts, or all the schools around the world are putting efforts to do this e-learning, providers to the students, is this the right kind of parameter where you can, when you said that there is a age of 7 to 8 or 8 to 12 where a mind has a most kind of development activities going on, so is e-learning a better parameter to judge, or I should not use the word judge, or to see whether the child is really having a growth in studies or not? Can you judge from these MCQ kind of questions? Do you think it's the right
Ma'am,
way?
number one, there's no right or a wrong here. We have to very
Mm-hmm.
importantly remember the word which I used a little while ago,
Mm-hmm.
necessity.
Mm-hmm.
This e-learning is the necessity of the day. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot find a right or a wrong here, number one. Number two, assessing a child is not difficult through e-learning as well. You could cross-question a child just like you are cross-questioning me. A teacher can question a child in the class and still get the answer to see how well the child has understood. The teachers can share the worksheets with the children, and the children can complete the worksheets and send it back to the teacher to see where the level of the child has gone.
Mm-hmm.
A child can be encouraged to make a presentation to the entire class in different slots. That also will depict whether the
Yes.
learning is happening or not happening. So it has its own advantages, it has its own disadvantages, but it is the necessity of the day. And I'm glad that the learning did not stop anywhere in the world, and people got onto the
Yes.
e-learning mode.
Yes. So suppose if 2 3 months down the line, if COVID situations is normalized, it comes to a normal level. So would you like to encourage online learning also along with the physical learning that they go to the school? What's your
um,
comments on them?
Ma'am,
I mean, on that.
if you're talking about reopening of the schools,
Yes, I'm
I
talking
don't
about
know
reopening.
how it's going to unfold. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's too early for me to say it, though the governments have already started talking about reopening. But if you ask me personally, I would not like to see the younger kids come to school as yet. Uh, I would like maybe the senior students to be called into school again after maybe a month or two. I don't know how the situations unfold. The reason why I'm saying it is because one, the children will be super excited to meet their friends when they are coming after so many months, and they'll see their friends. It's extremely difficult to ask them to maintain social distancing like adults do. For them, it's about being with their friends. For them, it's about being shaking hands. For them, it's about touching each other, hugging each other, pushing each other, sitting next to each other, talking properly. So I think it'll be unsafe to bring in younger kids. As far as senior classes are concerned, definitely this e-learning has opened a, a new dimension and a new door for us. It has already been happening in the West. There are, but mostly at the university and the college level, where some teaching and learning happens in the classroom, some teaching and learning happens through the e mode, and some teaching and learning happens through the assignments. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe, who knows, maybe we may go into that mode as well in future, that we will use both the mediums, e-learning as well as the physical learning in the classrooms. But definitely it has opened a lot of opportunities for us which was not there earlier, right? So now you could conduct some presentations by the students on Saturdays from home. You could conduct a class on a Sunday if there is some portion which has to be covered, 1 hour. If a child says that, ma'am or sir, I have not understood this, you can still connect with that child at 7 o'clock in the evening from home and say, okay, fine. After the school, log in through the computer or the laptop, and we'll have a chat about it. So it has given a lot of opportunities as well. It's not entirely bad. So how the things unfold, I cannot predict right now, but I'm open to any kind of change. I'm open to both forms of learning. I'm open to take it forward. I hope my only hope is that I hope we don't go back from here. We only move forward. That's what I feel.
Okay. So I would like to mention here that there was Mr. Ram Gopal Bajaj, who is ex-chairman of NSD, National School of Drama, who had brought this to
Hmm.
attention that, why theaters are not being a part of the school syllabus for the kids who want to learn acting, you know, when they can be yoga, when they can be art section, where painting, drawing, everything is being encouraged. So why not theater? Why not creative writing in theater, acting in theater, producing, producing, or direction in theater can be taught to a student on a very low level, not a very expertise level, but a start of it. Do you think that theater should be introduced?
Well, I don't want to mention or comment on what Mr. Bajaj said, because I don't know where he's coming from and which schools he's talking about. I think
No, I say
theater is taught in the schools across the country. Uh, when I was a child, theater was taught as well. Not formally, yes, but informally, definitely it was taught. Uh, every school
so,
has drama competitions. Every school
right.
has theater as an activity. Every school has drama as an activity. Every school has creative writing or uh, or public speaking as an important mode. I think theater plays a very important role in the classrooms as well, by teachers' voice modulation, expressions, and all of that, and so on and so forth. If he's talking about the blocks of the stage, if he's talking about the different kind of blockings, if he talks
No,
about
no,
the
no, no.
nitty-gritties of
So
the production, so theater is taught, ma'am. I don't think theater is not taught in the country. It's just that it's not taught the way it is taught in the National School of Drama.
there are two approaches to see to this, aspect. One approach is like, you think that, of course, we all play a role in our lives. Wherever we are, whatever we do, we all are playing a stage kind of a role, okay? Whether it's a teacher, whether it's a principal, whether it's a mother, it's a father, it's a child. But what I'm talking about is when dancing as a subject can be introduced, when yoga as a subject can be introduced, that no, it's a yoga period, you have to go, you have to learn from the starting, what is the meaning of Om, the enchanting of Om. You know what I'm saying. As a subject, it's a very different altogether. When you say, when a child is standing on the podium and, speaking about a presentation or, a speech, it's a different thing that not every child is in born with. Acting is a different thing. Theater is a different thing. It talks more about
Ma'am,
your personality development on a creative side.
I don't agree with you. There are
Okay.
different children with different interests in life.
That's what
If
I'm
you ask
saying.
Sachin
Why?
Tendulkar, if you ask, no, no, please let me complete. If you ask
Mm,
Sachin Tendulkar to get on a stage and do a drama and not play cricket, he will be a disaster. Mark my words. And
yeah,
on
sure.
contrary, if you ask a theater artist to go and play, soccer match, he may not be able to do so. Or dance, he may not be able to do so. Uh, as far as theater is concerned, International Baccalaureate and IGCSE have introduced theater as a subject, wherein it is taught as a subject. Music is taught as a subject. Uh, Yoga is definitely taught as a subject.
Dancing
However,
is also a subject.
dance, no, no, it is not taught as a subject in the
Yeah, it's
schools.
it's a
It is taught
extracurricular
as it is, yes. Similarly, theater is
extracurricular
also taught as
activity.
an, similarly, theater is also taught as an extra curricular activity.
Okay.
There is a dedicated period in a week which is given to theater as an activity. So the children who
Okay.
are interested in theater, they attend that, in which they are not just they not only go through the scripts, they also look at various nitty-gritties of theater. But it should not be made compulsory for anybody and everybody who wants to do it. Should be done only to those who want to do it, right? There's no point
Exactly.
forcing a child into something which he or she is not interested. Like at HPS, We have 25 clubs and societies, and in fact more. So I cannot ask every child that, no, you have to do this activity and you have to not do that activity. Plus, you cannot equate theater with yoga. These are completely different set, altogether completely different sets.
But
Any child,
I can equate theater with dancing.
both are activities. Both are not taught in the class. Every student is not compulsorily sent to the
No,
dance
I'm not
class.
saying as a
There's a choice given
compulsion.
to them.
Yes, yes. But many schools are not following this choice also. So that's just the point that I want
Ma'am,
to put forward.
I cannot comment on many schools who are not following
Yes,
it, but where I am
yes.
coming from, I think most of the schools are doing it. I have yet to see a school in our country in my 20 plus years careers and my educational time wherein they don't do dance or acting. I don't think there is any school where they don't have theater or they don't have dance. Yes, they may not be doing it like a class, but they definitely do it as an activity. So
Hmm.
I mean, because you tell me if you have come across any school where inter-house dance or they don't stage a drama ever, or they don't do a dance competition ever. I don't think there is something like that. Uh, so
So I would like to comment on this. Yes, you're right that I haven't seen any school who doesn't have a drama. I haven't seen any school who doesn't do a dance competition. I haven't seen any school who doesn't believe in the theory of, a stage show. But then they are taught only for that particular script of particular event or of that particular day or that particular subject. Only for that time period. That's it. Apart
so you
from
want to tell
the
me that is
regular
not a learning, ma'am?
activity. No, that is a learning, but then again, like suppose if you have to, the parents also play a very big role. Like suppose teachers tell them, okay, you have to give this, you have to be in this role. So these are your lines. Go home and learn it. Now, I'm talking about a 5-year-old kid where parents play a very big role. They have to stand next to him and tell him.
I'll give an example. It's very easy for
I can't
the
hear you, sir. Your
ma'am.
voice is breaking. Breaking. It's breaking.
Can you hear me now? Or still
Yeah,
breaking?
yeah, yeah. No, no,
All
no.
right.
Fine, fine,
Now,
fine.
yeah, what I'm saying is it's very easy for anybody to say why my profession is not taught in the school, or why this profession is not
Okay.
taught in the school which I am doing. It's impossible to accommodate every profession in the school. Like, for example, NCC is very popular in HPS as well. We offer
Yes,
NCC.
yes, yes,
We
yes,
offer
yes.
all three wings:
Okay.
Army, Air, and Navy. But then
Mm-hmm.
there is a set quota for that. There can't be more than a certain number of students who can join that particular program. So those who
Yes.
are interested, they do that. There are some students who are interested in dance, so they pick up dance as an activity. There are some
Right.
students who are interested in chess, so they pick up chess as an activity. There are some students who are interested in public speaking, so they pick up that as an activity. There are some students who are interested in drama, so they pick up drama as an activity. But I mean, you have limited time in a day wherein sports is also an important part, academic growth is also an important part. The students have to be, has to be lunch breaks, snack breaks, assembly plays an important part as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if tomorrow an army officer walks into my office or maybe in your show and says, why every school does not offer NCC to every child? So you cannot make
I
42 hours out of 24 hours, right? So, I mean, I don't understand the background with which that gentleman said what he said. I think if he meant theater to be taught as an option to students, it is happening across. I can speak for HPS, my school.
right.
We have a drama club. We very regularly do that. So there is
Okay.
inter-house drama competitions. There are skits which are being portrayed by students on various functions and various events. We have annual exhibition where Hindi and English skits are presented. Even Telugu at times is done. Urdu is done, right? Similarly,
Wow.
we have annual
That's nice.
concerts where it is performed, where students perform. We had our annual concert last wherein 600 to 700 students participated. So my school is doing it, and I'm assuming that every school around the country is doing that as well. Uh, but if you say that there has to be a lesson every day, I'm sorry, I won't agree with that. Uh,
Okay.
Rather, I would say that there should be a lesson on mental health of a child. which is very, very important. Mental
I like
well-being,
that.
mental health,
Yes,
uh,
yes, yes. I like that.
that should be there. That
So
should be
you mean
there.
to say you
However,
want to
if we
introduce you want to introduce a subject called psychology, child psychology.
no, I'm not saying that I want to introduce subject like
Then
psychology
what
in
do you
every
mean
class. We
by
do have a
mental
subject
health?
like psychology. We
Yes.
have
What do
psychology
you
in our
mean by
school
mental
as a
health?
subject.
What?
It is taught in
Mhm.
11th and 12th. Mental health
So, but
means
what do
that
you mean by
a child is aware of his or her well-being, mental well-being, is aware of his or her friends' mental well-being, which means that teaching them that using certain words, using certain sentences, expressing certain behaviors is not good for the mental health of somebody else.
absolutely,
It's very important to tell
absolutely?
them that it's okay to be depressed. It's okay to be
Mm-hmm.
depressed. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to be in a feeling of neglect or a failure. It's a part and parcel of life. So what I meant by mental health and mental well-being is making the students mentally strong, emotionally sensitive, and empathetic towards their surroundings and environments. And why I'm saying it is very important is because unfortunately, a lot of the youngsters around the world give up on their lives very easily
Right.
or get into some kind of substance abuse which is not good for their health. So
So,
it is very, very important
I,
for educational
I'm
institutions from grassroots level.
I'm interfering here because I heard that the substances what you're talking about that children were consuming. I heard about HPS the similar things that they were at times they were consuming, and you changed the whole scenario. What did you do? What contribution did you make? To make this
Ma'am,
happen?
my answer to these kind of questions is only that uh, Satya Nadella was given by HPS much before I came to HPS.
Yes.
Shantanu Narayan, CEO of Adobe, was given by HPS much before I came to HPS.
Right.
Prem Watsa was given to the world much before I came to HPS. Talat Aziz,
Mhm.
Harsha Bogle, Nikhil Chanappa, Shailesh, Ajay Pal Singh Banga, Kiran Kumar Reddy, uh, Jagan Mohan Reddy,
Harsh
uh,
Bogle. Right.
you you name it, and they have it. So HPS has had a great legacy. Number one,
Absolutely.
it's extremely incorrect to say that everything is changes with one person. No, it's practically not possible. Everyone in the history of HPS has contributed. Coming on your second point, where you said that you heard that people consumed substance in HPS and all that, and so on and so forth. Uh, from the time I have come to HPS, I have not heard, or I have not found, or I have not seen anybody doing that. Number one. Number two, no school in the world and no principal in the world can say that uh, my school is 100% safe from substance abuse. I'll tell you the reason why.
Absolutely.
Anyone who says that, please don't look towards that school, because they are absolutely lying. The reason is, again, most of the people get into substance abuse when they are in their teenage. And what is the teenage? Teenage is a school age. What is very important for every school leader or every educational institution to understand and accept, that the children have a habit of getting into substance abuse during the age group when they are in the school life. So we
Mhm.
need to be extremely proactive. We need to be extremely vigilant. We need to be always available to the children. We have to be ahead of them in this game. Number two. Number three, uh, the students of HPS in the past, I don't want to sound cynical here, but there's one very interesting thing is that sometimes what happens is, if you want to grow in life, right, you have two options. One, you become bigger than somebody else. Two, you put the other person down. I feel that HPS has been very unfairly targeted for a long, long time, and for no
Oh,
reasons.
really?
Uh, Absolutely. Because HPS
What made
was a
you
great
say
school.
that? Sorry, what made you
I'm
say
telling you
that?
that. I'm telling you this. You just asked me a question that you have heard about HPS, which I
Yes,
have
yes,
never heard.
definitely,
And
definitely.
I've
I
just
did.
told you about the who's who of the world, which are given, who's who of the people who are given by HPS,
Okay.
who are leading the world.
I know. Yes.
That would not have happened as a fluke, right? Many old students bring their children back to HPS.
Uh-huh.
I have children who are IPS officers' children studying in HPS. I have
Right.
children who are political leaders' children studying in HPS. I have
Mm-hmm.
children who are IS officers' families studying in HPS. Now, these are the people who are in the middle of all these affairs. Now, you want to tell me that an IPS officer is putting his or her child in HPS despite knowing the fact what you are just mentioning. They are putting in their children in HPS because they know that HPS is the safest and the best school which can be, best education which can be given to their children, right? So this is an extremely unfair statement to say about any school. So strongest of the words, I condemn it. I would say the the words which were spread about HPS were spread like this by the individuals or the organization who had vested interest to put HPS down. Now, whatever reason they wanted
Okay.
to put HPS down, they know
Okay.
better.
Okay.
I would not like to get into that openly here,
Yeah, yeah.
but
That's fine. That's fine.
many people around the country and around the Hyderabad city consider HPS to be a threat,
Uh-huh.
whereas we don't consider anybody to be our threat,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have our own uniqueness. We have a legacy to show to people. uh, we
Right.
have uh, we have to deliver what we have shown to them. Academically we are excelling, sports wise we are excelling, co-curricular activities we are excelling, student
Yeah.
intake and output we are excelling. So
Yeah.
I think these are extremely unfair calls. That's what I feel, and I
Okay.
strongly condemn them.
Right, sir. So, I did not mean to hurt any, there was no intention to hurt you or the organization on the whole, but this is what is, are you there, sir? Your video is still,
Ma'am, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your video is still, I don't know for
Ma'am,
what
I
reason.
can you see me now, ma'am?
I
Am
can
am
see
I visible now, ma'am?
you are visible, but your video is still. That's what I mean to say. Okay, let's see. It might go well. Some
Is it
my
fine
next
now,
one.
ma'am?
No, for me it's still. It's still.
So,
It's the way.
do you want me to change my internet setting?
Yeah, please do that. Please, please, if you can.
Just give me 1 second.
Yes, sure,
Let me
sure,
try.
sure, sure, sure. Take your time.
Can you hear me now, ma'am? Is it
You are audible, but your video is still.
okay?
Mm,
I don't know what's the issue here. Let me.
okay. Okay.
Um, how is it now, ma'am?
It's the same, sir. I think can you just log out and log in back?
Is it fine now?
Mm, I can only hear you, but
You want me to log out and log in again?
yeah, yeah, I think yeah, because it's just still. Yeah, it's fine now. It's fine now.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
It's
Please
fine
tell me.
now.
Yeah.
Correct, correct, correct. So, my intention was not to hurt anybody through asking me this, nor the school or nor you, but that's what I heard, and that's a fairly justified statement by you given, and I I really appreciate it. So my next question is, what message do you have to give to all, I mean, teachers, the staff who work for you? And of course, before that, I want to ask you one more question. HPS has a very interesting architectural look. What do you have to comment on that?
Well, it's a beautiful campus. The architecture is beautiful as well. We have two prominent buildings in the school. One is the Shaheen block, which is the
Oh,
front block of the
mhm.
school, and then second one is the Jagirdar's block, which is just behind. These are two
Okay,
completely different buildings. So if you stand in the middle of the front field and look at those two buildings, they will appear absolutely identical and completely in symmetry, and that's a
okay.
beautiful architecture which has been done. So I think it's a heritage building. We have been given
Yes.
many heritage awards as well. So
Wow.
so it's really a beautiful site. Yeah. Coming on your earlier one, I'm not hurt that you asked that question. I'm not, don't feel that I'm hurt. I'm glad you asked. We are open to any kind of questions at HPS.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
only
So
thing,
I
the only thing I
understand.
want to tell you is that we at HPS are aware of what is to be done, and we are absolutely uh, open to and committed to student welfare in every sense.
Hmm. That's nice. So that's what I wanted to hear from you. So recently, is there any, like, when the school was operating normally before the COVID period, uh, what is the main or anything, any kind of highlighted issue that you would like to, mention here that you had really faced and you would like to make a stress on it, that, this should be rectified as from your side?
I didn't understand your question, ma'am.
I mean, there are so many issues, like there are people, kids studying who come across, any kind of issue that you want to mention here regarding kids, that you want to make a point, when you point out to those parents, to those kids who are watching you right now, that, they make a note of it, and it
I'll
could be a
just
help for them.
request them that be there for your children. Give them a hearing ear. Make sure that they treat you as the friend. One of the problem which is with the younger children is that they confide in the children of their same age or a little elder to them, who themselves are not mature enough to give them the correct and the appropriate answers. So it's
Mhm,
very important that the parents of today's time are more of friends to their children than anything else. And
mhm.
please be there for your children all the time. The world is more difficult and much different than what it was when we were growing up. And I think the
Right.
times ahead are going to be extremely challenging for these children in every sense. So you have to be there as a solid rock with them. Don't maintain that distance of a parent and a child all the time. There are times when you have to come down to their levels as well so that they open up to you. So please try and understand your kids and try and be there for them. This is very, very important.
Thank you so much. I hope the viewers are watching and they will make a note of it. And so coming back to my question, I have one thing to ask you. When you said that, mental health is very important. So what does the counseling, as counseling role, I must say, at your school has to play with it?
Ma'am, there are two different things what I'm talking about when I say mental health. Uh,
Hmm.
Counseling is not necessarily for every child. And every child, every time, need not be counseled as well, because nobody likes to be counseled all the time. That is number one. So you have to deal with it very carefully and very critically. So what at HPS we have done is we have now initiated a mentor-mentee program where
Hmm.
every teacher is assigned about 10 to 12 students, and
Right.
he or she is responsible for mentoring those children, looking after them, talking to them, understanding their issues and their problems, grooming them, making sure that they take part in the activities they are interested in and they grow in that activity, whatever they do. So that is what we have done. When it comes on mental health program, we are very aggressively going to introduce that now as well in school as soon as the school reopens, where we are going to pay attention to the mental health of the children, and there is going to be a, a program which is inculcated in our curriculum, which is going to be delivered to the children, just like we started entrepreneurship and farming in the school. So we are going to start
Mhm.
this as well. So these are some of the thoughts and some of the ways by which we are trying to address the issue of mental health, ma'am.
Right. Because I think kids need grooming and helping, as teachers are the next mothers to kids, because most of the time kids spend their time in the school, right, from morning till evening. So right. So any I want to ask you the new education system, please, again, just just narrate whatever the new education system has been there announced. Can you
You mean
please
you
highlight it?
mean new education policy?
Yes.
The new education policy has not changed the way the curriculum is going to look like, but they have
Hmm.
more stressed on the inclusion of the child in the school. They have looked at the holistic development of the child.
Okay.
They are looking at the mental growth of a child and making sure that the learning happens to the maximum limit in the school and the maximum ability of the child. They have very beautifully crafted the different stages in a school: 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, which I think is an extremely healthy sign. They are
Hmm.
giving importance to the mother tongue or the local language of the child as well, which is again a very healthy sign.
Hmm.
So there are many co-curricular activities, sports, extracurricular activities have been included into the national education program, and they are given importance. A teacher-child ratio has been given an importance.
What is the ratio
Uh,
that they have
1 is to
mentioned?
25, ma'am.
1:25.
And
Okay.
yes, and there is more stress on the professional development of teachers, which I think is a very very good sign, which was not there earlier. So
What
these
have
are
they
some of the
introduced for the
they
teachers?
have they have not introduced per se like that, but they have uh, included the concept of professional development of the faculty, wherein the teachers
Okay.
have to be professionally developed and groomed over time, which was neglected
Okay.
earlier. So these are some of the highlights of the national education policy. It's a very
But I
extensive
guess,
document.
but I guess the teachers were given seminars, and they were always being groomed that way. I've
I
heard
don't
teachers
think so, ma'am.
attending.
I don't think so. I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
It was much less than what it should be. A professional
Okay.
development is not necessarily only attending seminars and conferences. A professional development is to identify each teacher's personal professional needs, giving them opportunity to grow in that need. So professional development is a much more holistic term. It can't be looked at in a narrow sphere. It has to be looked in a broader aspect as well. There are
Right.
certain aspects of professional development which have to do with the profession. There are certain aspects which have to do with the personality traits, like communication
Yes.
skills, grooming, etc., etc. There are certain aspects which have to do with the social skills, like team building, teamwork, etc., etc. So there are multiple layers of professional development. So that needs to be, I think, addressed. We need to invest a lot in professional development of the teachers.
Okay. So, is it possible during the lockdown, or you are not working on it right now?
No, it's possible across. We have always done it. HPS has been grooming, doing a lot of steps in terms of professional development of the staff and faculty. We have always believed in it. So offline or online, it did not make a difference to us. Our teachers are given opportunity for professional growth in every aspect. So, so yeah. But I'm talking in general about the country, that needs to be addressed.
Yes, that's true. I also agree to it. So I think I was not being Arnab Goswami with you at some point of time. I might have been. I'm sorry if I have been. So we have to. I think we have come to an end. So I would like you to say some kind of inspiration message that should go across, and which should be intact in today's program. And it has to be inspiration for all of us, whether it's right from a parent, whosoever is watching or who will watch, that's different story. But what do you have to say from your side, from your principal desk?
Well, I'm too small a person to give people any advice or suggest them anything. All I can tell the students is that the world is there for you. The sky is the limit. The opportunities which you have now were not there during our times.
It's
The
endless.
opportunities in future are not even available today. People don't even know them. So that means that there are immense opportunities in life. Please don't
Mm-hmm,
give up on anything. Believe in
mm-hmm,
yourself. Make
mm-hmm,
most of what you do in life.
mm-hmm.
Learn from your elders, learn from your friends, learn from your own mistakes, and make sure that everything and anything is possible in life. So please believe in yourself and go forward. To the parents, I've already said that they have to stand with the students as their friends. They have to be their friends more than the parents in today's time and the times to come. uh, be with them, guide them, encourage them, motivate them. And to my colleagues, I
Nice.
can only say that I'm there for you. I'm learning from you all. And please give your best the way you have been giving. Um,
Mm.
the way the online program has been taken up in my school, I have become a big fan of my faculty. A lot of my teachers have been in school for a very, very long time. And for them
Mm-hmm,
to adopt to this online lesson delivery is not easy. They have done exceptionally well. And
mm-hmm.
the kind of feedback I get from people around Hyderabad is that we are doing a fantastic job when it comes on online delivery of curriculum is concerned.
Right.
So I'm very proud of them. I'm very happy that I'm working with such talented team of faculty members.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm there for them. So all the best. We all miss you. I hope that we get to see all of you in school very soon. So yeah, that's what it is.
Okay. And last question. Are you short-tempered?
No, I do get angry at times. Yes, I'm very human.
Everybody does
I'm
get angry,
I'm
but are you
I'm very
short-tempered?
No, I'm not short tempered. I'm very human like everybody else, but I'm not short tempered. I don't think I am.
Okay. If you say so, then I must agree that you're not. So, uh, one more thing. I've heard that uh, the food which is served in your mess, and it's really amazing. So, what kind of food, you know, this thing you serve, and what is so different about it?
Well, it's definitely delicious. It's cooked beautifully well. We have a nutritionist as well who is our consultant.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the food is a trademark. Many old students who come back to school and they remember the trademark meal which they have. We serve a
Mm-hmm.
very healthy and nutritious meal. We serve Indian food to them
Oh,
most of the
really?
time.
Mm-hmm.
So there is rice, there is roti, there is dal, there is sambar, there is rajma, there is chana, there are a lot of varieties on different days. But yes,
Okay.
our food is exceptionally good, and you will have to. I invite you to HPS. Please visit someday if you haven't
Thank you
already.
so much.
I'll.
I will
I mean,
definitely.
I won't be able to serve you food right now because our mess is closed. But I'll show you
No,
around,
your
and when
mess
the
is
school,
closed. Your mess is closed because the world is in a mess because of COVID. So
so
I can.
I can show you the school definitely if you come in near future. But if you come
I'm
when the
honored.
school
I'm
is,
honored.
please come, ma'am. And when the school reopens, I'll extend another invite to you that please do come and
Thank
have
you so
taste the
much.
food in our mess as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So
Thank you.
I think I was not so bad, and today interviewing you, and I hope I was not Annam Goswami. Do you feel I was like Annam Goswami? I
No, no,
don't
thank
know.
you so much, ma'am. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
But it was wonderful to talk to you, to speak to you regarding different aspects of education system, and definitely you are a very rock solid and a solid person fit for that position. That's what I feel. And
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm very small, but I would like to wish you all the best and lots of good health for the coming future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
So,
so much.
and great pleasure to talk to you once again. Thank
Pleasure's
you so
mine,
much,
ma'am.
sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. All the
All
best.
the
Thank
best.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. So, guys, this was all about our principal, Dr.SkandBali of the Hyderabad Public School HPS. That's called in Begumpet. So, a very motivational speaker and a very motivational person, and a positive vibe that I've got from him. Amazing. Hats off, sir. May you keep continuing this good work and the school flourish more and more with giving good students as a result. So I want to thank all my viewers who've been watching this program or who will be watching this program and extending love towards me. So do send me your feedbacks, as I always say. And I would like to end the session today here and meet you again with a new celeb or a personality onto my show. Till then, take care. Stay home. Stay safe. Goodbye.